more failures, even more. Now, I'm not talking about you personally, not even for your business, but maybe for your bank, not your bank account, the bank themselves. Do you guys remember when Silicone Valley Bank failed last year? Pretty big news. This week, Bloomberg reported that there could be even more regional bank failures on the way, which they heard from Pacific Investment Management, more commonly known as Pimco. I quote, "The real wave of distress is just starting." That was from Pimco's John Murray. He was talking about banks holding commercial loans from everything for loans for malls to office buildings. The Fed has been holding rates high for a long time. We know this all too well, but that has far-reaching impacts, and a major one of those being the commercial space, where those loans typically reset every 5 years. Loans are coming up for that reset right now, and the interest rate on those loans is like 2 or 3%, which means when it resets to current market rates, it's tripling. And that is going to trigger defaults, which leads banks, especially small regional ones, it leaves them in a really, really tough position. Many of them have already gone all in on commercial. Like they increased their exposure too much. And so at the moment, they're in a tricky position. A lot of them even lent to commercial borrowers with very, very low down payments, which leads to more defaults because just think about it logically. If the owner has less skin in the game, now the payment on the loan has tripled. If they can't transfer that cost and defer it to tenants by increasing their rents, who are also small business owners who are dealing with inflation, who probably can't afford a higher rent, they're more likely to just walk away from the building. Let it go into foreclosure, give it back to the bank. It's been something I've been telling you guys to watch for over a year now, and I'm not walking it back. It's taking time to play out, but I think we are bound to see something happen in the commercial space. Now, in other news, back to our world over in residential real estate, we've had 2 good weeks, dare I say it, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, of mortgage rates improving. It's been quite lovely, put a little pep in my step, and I hope yours too. Now, I know we've been warning buyers that when interest rates come down, it's going to be way harder for them to buy a home because their competition is likely to flood back into the market. But there's another potential consequence of rates improving, and it might be good news for everyone. Inventory. Sellers are impacted by high rates too. I think we know that. We call it their golden handcuffs, right? It's what's been keeping them trapped in homes they hate. They just can't stomach the interest rates and what it would do to a monthly payment if they chose to move. As rates come back down, they should feel motivated, right? To finally get out of that house that they hate, which would free up some inventory. That is good news for buyers and sellers. It's not likely going to be a flood of inventory, and I get it that those sellers will become buyers then in the market, which is more competition. I know all of this, but I still think that there's a positive here. I still think lower interest rates will bring benefits for a lot of people out there. Not to mention that according to Keeping Current Matters, which I know a lot of you guys subscribe to and follow, the average priced home in the US stands to appreciate $83,000 over the next 5 years. Can you imagine banking $83,000 while you sleep? Just doing what you already do, which is paying for a place to live? Seems like a pretty important message to share, right? Separately, I know of an amazing team leader, if you're local here in Reno, who's looking to add a buyer's agent to his team. And this is not some like shit gimmicky opportunity. It's not like a pyramid scheme type setup. This is actually going to be a pretty legit big time opportunity for whoever lands the gig. So if you're interested in more information, I have the inside scoop and I'm happy to share it with you. Happy Friday, guys.